Have you ever wondered why some people able to attract into your life wealth and success without straining when others waste their vitality for years and time but remain with nothing yet? Gasp. But the answer is tritely simple. In petty habits which is worth avoid because they doom. 100 years of poverty don't take you far. Go for examples of billionaire Warren Buffett ranks 5th on the list. The richest people in the world having on their accounts of more than $118 billion, while he lives in a very unusual modest. Buffett's life doesn't go to a restaurant, giving preference to fast food and do not buy things from famous brands. Even the iPhone that the billionaire has, it's just a gift from Apple. Imagine Warren like the others. Rich and successful people all their lives. Just avoid things that doom to poverty today. Also have the opportunity to open the secret of billionaires and find out what habits doom you for 100 years. Poverty. Welcome to the channel Notes Millionaire. Dream of getting rich, then click on subscribe button. Looking through various interviews with Warren Buffett today, it's hard to believe that once it was very shy and a tight guy who had a hard time talking to people. Over the years, I'm sure, learned to speak in public before me. It was frightening, especially when necessary was to perform in public in high school or college, tells Buffett in an interview with the future billionaire. In those years I had to pay for my courses. Dale Carnegie to get rid of his fears, and as soon as Buffett spoke with his mouth, he immediately began to earn big money on the stock exchange. Sometimes the right word at the right time can help you save a couple dollars now and earn in the future, Buffett said. As soon as you Raven analyzed his weaknesses, hand-corrected them, and began to create billions of dollars of capital around. First of all, he removed from his life habits that would doom him to eternal poverty and bad luck. Billionaire made a whole checklist of things that suck money out of your wallet, and right now we will carefully analyze each item indicated by Buffett. You cannot book money with some people from getting rich quick. Head goes around, never powers in hands of big money and not knowing how to manage with them. Such people begin to behave the most inappropriately, buy expensive but completely unnecessary things, or spends them at the fountains. Crazy fun eating expensive champagne with spoons, black caviar, buying things in rows. All this is an attempt to shock the public and get famous with the money you have. No one is allowed to waste money, and life shows that people with similar behavior very soon lose crazy money that got to them. In the hand of Buffett vehemently adheres to the principle saving money, many mistakenly compare his approach with stinginess, though the billionaire understands what to any amount of money you just need treat with respect and frugality, then the money will reciprocate to come into your life. That's why Warren Buffett behaves so economically, and most importantly, that this approach gives the result, and the universe always supports damage. So for example, his company Berkshire that way for many years stay afloat even though crises of 2008 and 2020. You can't live with a motto any worse than others desire to imitate others, do terrible things to people. A friend has an expensive phone, I need be no worse than a neighbor buying a car, executive class, and why am I worse? Girlfriend boasted a new ring with diamond, and am I a beggar with about? Such phrases begin a process that drives a modern man into real financial cabal. Desire to live no worse than to have things that already exist in other people pushes a person on reckless actions without counting a person's financial capabilities, takes out bank loans, buys things in installments but does not have the opportunity for them pay, and the result is huge debt and poverty, forced to work exclusively for repaying loans. To Warren Buffett is always the same, says that everything comes to those who can wait, therefore in pursuit of wealth always wins the one who waits. Worship expensive brands of buffet, believes that the current generation lives in the era of branded items. This is the most ordinary things are no better and no worse other but widely publicized because it is incredibly popular, which is noticeable, affects their values. People who want to stand out from the crowd and are willing to pay for branded things a lot of money more, that are ready to get into loans and live half starving really for huge The money they get is a mediocre thing, which is no different from cheap. It is customary to talk about such people. That for them show off is more expensive than money, but surrounding yourself with advertised, branded things you can earn yourself. Only imaginary popularity, and at the same time, drive yourself into huge debts by becoming a slave of things. Cannot live directly exist. Category of people who have learned. Make money but not at all. Learn to spend them, they don't flaunt. Don't try to shop with money. Surrounding expensive purchases, just have. They lack a culture of consumption. Because of what the earned money runs away. Like sand through the fingers of these individuals. Can invest in business completely in. Without understanding it, they can buy for themselves expensive things disproportionate them to their own. Real income is usually this approach. People who came out differ in money from the bottom, and which did not lead to culture. Handling money. Buffett emphasizes that the spending of these people is thoughtless, and they are the ones that keep leaking money and the threat of poverty. Don't be contemptuous of the poor. Some people, especially those who felt in the hands of easy money and rose from rags to the prince, to begin with. Contempt for others, especially the poor, barely making ends meet. Such people can be told that they are concerned about their material status occurs. This is because how personalities they are nothing represent, and nothing can stand out. People with similar attitudes and have problems communicating with them. It's hard to build a relationship with them. Hard to rely on and impossible. Trust Buffett sure with such. Bad man, good business not. Build, which means over time this. The problem leads them to lose money. Up to destruction. Parting with poverty is hard to change. Life is very hard, especially when have to give up something. Habitual radio figurative perspectives. Warren Buffett is in turn called. This is the first test on the way to wealth is a sacrifice to be made. Not tragic, she's just most often brings a lot of inconvenience to people, although by taking this step, for example by giving up any brands or starting to live through, you become a money magnet. The effect will not be immediate because you need to be able to, but in the future you part with poverty forever and you can finally enjoy your own. Notes were wealth with you. Millionaire, you will become richer.